Dear friends, it is the 25th of June. For those of you who aren't aware, 22nd of June, which is the solace, was the starting date of Operation Barbarossa, when the Germans came through. At 4 in the morning, they started bombing raids, and then the army, the Wehrmacht, rolled over the border. And no, unlike popular myth, the Wehrmacht actually outnumbered the Red Army in all border areas and in Western Russia about by 1 million plus soldiers. Anyways, so for us, it is a day of remembrance. Thus started the Great Patriotic War. For the Banderites, it's a day of celebration, because they are Nazis and their fellow Nazis were coming for them to bring them into the fold of European civilization. Even though Hitler actually despised them and saw them nothing more than useful dogs to sick on his enemies and then get rid of. But you know, that's a hole is a hole. A big hole in his head. So the West likes big holidays or big name dates with significant events to cause whatever they like causing. They like starting wars on Olympic holidays. They like, for example, the Georgian War that started during the Chinese Olympics. The Georgians attacked the peacekeepers when they were under Saakashvili, under that tyrannical rule. The 2014 overthrow of the Ukrainian government was, which was during the Olympics, because they figured that they'll act, but nobody else will act to counteract them because of the Olympics. They also like big other dates. They try to coordinate terrorist attacks, spoiling attacks, things like that on other people's holidays or remembrance days and so on. So the 22nd was absolutely no exception. I'll start with what was less discussed, was coordinated terrorist attacks in Dagestan. They were Islamic in nature. They were ISIS-K. That made up crap from the United States State Department. ISIS-K. They're halfway through the alphabet at this point. So the jihadists attacked in two cities, Makhachkala and Derbent, which are about 80 kilometers apart from each other. One group attacked a police station, and police that were on patrol. There were, I think, 8 police officers killed, another dozen or so wounded. Took them in ambush. One group attacked a church where they slit the throat of a 66-year-old priest, Father Nikolai. Another group attacked another church and a synagogue. Very coordinated. Again, ISIS-K doesn't exist. They're a creation of MI6 and the CIA. So nothing new here. Just like ISIS didn't exist in Krakow City. 6 of the assailants were liquidated with extreme prejudice. Very extreme prejudice. Don't know about any survivors. There are. They'll be squeaking. They'll be squeaking soon enough. And then the bigger one, where 5 attacking missiles were flying over Sevastopol. 4 were intercepted, and the 5th one veered off of its original course and exploded over a beach. 4 people dead, 2 of them children, a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. Now look at your children and think about that. Murdered by Washington, murdered by the subhuman animals that live in Washington. 150 plus wounded. The missile was carrying cluster munitions, so bomblets, anti-personnel bomblets that dropped over a civilian beach. And before you say the Ukrainians did this, Oh, I'm sure they're happy to have it done, because those animals are the same satanic spawn that's created by Stop. So that's Satanic Temple on Potomac. That is Washington. They created that spawn of evil. They themselves are the spawn of evil. But those attacking missiles can't even be activated. The warheads on them cannot be activated without secret codes, secret level clearance, not top secret, secret level clearance, codes that only Americans have. And behind the wheel, those HIMARS aren't Ukrainians. Those are Americans. They may be shit dipped into being contractors. Those are Americans. And when those HIMARS get whacked, those are Americans getting whacked. And the missiles, the ATACMS, are guided in. The guidance is programmed in. Targets programmed. They are maneuverable missiles. They're not just ballistics. They are maneuverable. And they're guided in by American satellites that then transmit the signals. They transmit via a base in the U.S. Control point in the U.S. That's the U.S. Army murdering civilians on a beach. Let's say it as it is. It's the U.S. Army murdering civilians on a beach. Murdering women, murdering children on a beach. Be proud. You're defending America's freedom, for you much. You're defending America's freedom by murdering children. Yeah, great heroes. Just Superman right there. You can't even blame something like this on the CIA and their duplicitous nature. This is the U.S. Army. Disgusting. I'd say, where's the honor among the officers? But I guess most of the officers don't have any honor anymore. But then again, you know, Julian Assange has said, how many years of his life? Either in one room in an Ecuadorian embassy or in prison, because he exposed how American helicopter pilots are butchering Iraqi civilians. Where's that honor again? Only in the slogans. Because any officer with honor would be disgusted at what his command does and would resign his command. Makes you no better than the Nazis, than the German Nazis. In fact, worse. Because at least they didn't hide behind pretty slogans about defending freedom and democracy and other crap like that, while supporting a dictator, an illegal dictator in Ukraine that runs a police state with concentration camps and death camps. Oh yeah, America, the land of freedom. I know freedom in America, and sure as hell doesn't bring freedom to the rest of the world. It brings misery and murder. Just so a bunch of bastards in Washington and their owners can get richer. And if you don't think all this is going to come back to the U.S. in spades with percent, if you don't think that that karma isn't going to kick you in the balls and shove its foot down your throat, you are very fucking mistaken. And those two big lakes on either side ain't going to protect anyone. Not from today's technology. Well, keep listening to that zombie and his handlers. Keep doing whatever you're being told, no matter how many civilians you murder. How much blood of how many children are in your hands. There's a reason the suicide rate is so high among veterans. They have to deal with what crap that they've done. And at least some of them seem to still have a conscience. You're given orders and you're following orders that are absolutely illegal. Absolutely illegal. Whether or not you believe the U.S. government is legally in power under Biden, that's one thing. But the orders being given to murder women and children, target civilians, is absolutely illegal orders. Founding Father of America would be sick of you. They probably wouldn't found America if they could see what America has become. Think about that. If you still have a conscience. Sooner or later, you will be judged by God. As all of us will be. Whether you believe in God or not. And it seems like the majority of Americans don't believe in God anymore. Well, that doesn't mean He's not there. This means you're ignorant if you don't. And one day, every one of us is going to get to see Him. In all His frightful glory. For what you do, when you murder women and children, anyways, go with God.